Hey y'all, it's Tamika Shanea here. I am back. I took some time off, but I'm back. Welcome to episode 14. Baby, this is technically not episode 14. This should be like episode 16, but whatever. It is what it is. So I've been really, truly like not on the ball. And now I kind of understand some of the reasons why I haven't been on the ball with a lot of shit going on in my life. So, let's begin. So, episode 14, I was going to talk about the Democratic National Convention and also my graduation party. I'll talk about that shit in episode 15. Excuse my language. It's just been a hell of a day. I felt that I really needed to go ahead and get this episode together for myself and for any other, honestly, any other females that are going through what I'm going through right now. So, years ago, I don't even remember when it happened. It probably was like in 2000, maybe 2018, 2019. I went to the OBGYN. I was experiencing some really bad, heavy bleeding and cramps, due to my period. And I would just, wanted to know what was going on because, like, it got to a point where I had to take days off from my job. I'm the kind of person I don't like not working. As far as like when I have a job, I don't like missing time off unless I really have to, like if I'm taking a vacation or something like that. I normally don't like taking time off if it has something to do with sickness or something like that because I feel like that just pushes me back from what I need to do. So I remember I had to take time off um, at this job that I was at, where I was a buyer, and it was a temp job, but they was like, I think, doing like temp to hire. So I, because of the situation, and I kind of told them I was having a situation, and then unfortunately I didn't have FMLA or whatever, but they were like on the verge of letting me go unless I found out like what the hell was wrong with me. So I went to the doctor. I went to my OBGYN. I like told her what I was experiencing and different things like that. And it seems like she was like, "Baby girl, you're in perimenopause." I'm like, "Baby girl, I am in my 30s. How the hell am I in perimenopause?" It can happen, y'all. Early perimenopause happens. So, get this, y'all. I entered perimenopause probably like in my late 30s. Um, didn't even think about it because it was like symptoms here and there, but it wasn't nothing that was like really tripping me out or whatever. But I did get like insomnia, PMS, mood swings, anxiety. I don't think I too much had belly fat, like, off and on. I fluctuated with my weight, especially after having my son, Kavan, because he's 20 now. But I think back then, after having him, my weight fluctuated, but it was just to a point where I said, whatever. So she told me about the perimenopause. She put me on some pills, some things like that. Kind of calmed down. I mean, I had like really heavy periods and stuff like that. I dealt with cramps. I did, so I started doing some research and not just finding different things to kind of help me with that situation because the fact was that unfortunately every month was different. Like one month I could be cool, like hardly no cramps. I could go to work, no problems, nothing. The next month, I could be in pain. I could be in bed all damn day for like 2 to 3 days. I could barely move. Bleeding to the point where I had to change my pad every 2 hours and all this crazy stuff. It it fluctuates. And then now at 47, it's getting worse, man. It's to a point where I like if I could pull my uterus out and throw that shit away, I would. It is really bad, y'all. I've gotten to a point of every month I feel like I'm going to die. It's not a thing where, oh, 1 month the cramps is cool, the next month the cramps are terrible. It's like every fucking month I go through this. I want to scream. I birthed 4 kids naturally, and all 4 of them together do not compare to this pain I have had for the past year and a half, okay? This shit is for the birds. I would not wish this on my worst enemy, and I can't stand that bitch. This bitch, I know for a fact, is older than me, so I know she's going through it too. But I wouldn't even wish it on her. But I know she going through it. This is like probably the worst. As of this week, I started experiencing spotting, and I was wondering, what the hell? And this is crazy because I'm being like really transparent on here. And, you know, this is my podcast. Y'all know I normally try to keep it 100 on here. I don't sugarcoat or bullshit. But this experience I really did want to talk about because it's happening now. So, just being transparent. So Sunday, me and husband, we did our little rendezvous. So I went to the bathroom, next thing I know I was spotting. I'm like, oh shit, what's going on? Haven't experienced that before. Read up on it. It was like, sometimes that does happen or whatever. Okay. Didn't think about it. I was just like, oh, I'm spotting and, put a pad on. Just said, okay, it is what it is. The next day, which was yesterday, I woke up full blown ass period. And it's not even a period because I just had my period over a week ago. So I'm like, what the entire hell is going on? Bleeding, just straight bleeding, cramps, all the shit that I just went through over a week ago. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? I go to work. I feel like shit. I'm sitting at my desk. I'm trying to work. Like my coworkers, shout out to them. They gave me medicine. They was like, this is crazy. Some of them have already went through menopause, perimenopause. So they was like, yo, sis, we gonna give you some, give you some Tylenol, give you something like get a heat pad or whatever. Baby, none of that worked. I felt so fucking bad. I left early. I came home. I worked half a day, literally yesterday. I came home. But before I came home, I went upstairs because, I work in the hospital. I went upstairs to the 8th floor, which is OBGYN and women's health and everything like that. And I didn't even realize we had it on the first floor too, which is kind of cool. I didn't know we had it on the first and the 8th floor. But I went to the 8th floor and I made an appointment because I was like, I was trying to see if I could get in yesterday. The young man that was at the front desk, he was like, no, unfortunately, we don't have anything for today, but I can get you in tomorrow at 8:30. I said, okay, cool. Because I figured I would be at work. I can just go to the appointment and then, whatever. So I called off because I still, right now, feel like shit. I don't feel good at all. I have taken medicine. I went to the appointment. She gave me a pap smear. She, also gave me a pregnancy test just to make sure, even though I've had a tubal ligation, sometimes things could happen where you could end up getting an ectopic pregnancy and, or miscarriage, even if your tubes are tied. And she just wanted to like rule that out because I was having like blood clots and stuff when she was doing my pap smear. Now, this much might be too much TMI for my fellas, but this is strictly for the ladies right now. So, fellas, if you don't want to listen to this episode, I totally get it. Come back on episode 15 when I talk about my party. and talk about Democratic National Convention and talk about some other shit. But this episode is definitely dedicated to the perimenopause, okay? So, went to the doctor and literally she was just like, I'm gonna do all these tests and all this stuff like that. And she said, well, we'll wait to see what the tests say. But she was like, I want you to do an ultrasound. If, another ultrasound I did like 2 years ago. And wait a minute, I got the papers right here so I can kind of tell you what it was. So it was a sonohystrography. So it's a SIS. And so basically what you do is you take the test like day 6 to 11 of your menstrual cycle, and then you drink like 3 large glasses of water. It's got your bladder has to be like completely full for them to actually see. Now, 2 years ago, they claimed I had a fibroid that I believe was on my egg, and they said it was so small that they wasn't gonna even like mess with it or whatever. So I'm like, well, shit, did this fibroid actually grow? Because I feel like now all of a sudden I'm having abnormal bleeding and I don't like that shit. I don't like being on my regular period, but then a week later back on the shit again, where I'm to the point I don't even know like when this stuff is going to stop. And something told me like to like re-up on my um pads and my tampons and stuff, and I'm so glad that I did. And this is probably why, because maybe God was like, yeah, I'm gonna put your ass right back on this damn bleeding, which hopefully it stops and I can just go back to living my life the way it was. But this is the absolute fucking worst. I don't like this part of my life as a female. I fucking hate Eve, and if I could dig that bitch back up, I would, and I would literally kill her again, as well as that fucking snake. I am like really irritated. I These mood swings are really, really just like horrible. Like horrible. One minute I'm sweet, I'm nice. Next minute I could be crying. The next minute I could be mad, cussing everybody out. It's just I don't like not being in control of my life. And that's how I feel right now. I feel like everything is just chaotic. I don't like this at all. And I have so many friends, which I'm so glad that we've all talked about this. But I'm so fucking glad that all of us are kind of going through the same thing and talking about it and talking about our experiences. And seriously, it got me to the point where I've literally started writing this book on perimenopause. I started literally probably a week ago, but now I've added more of my experiences and what's going on to it. And I was actually writing some of it earlier, but y'all, I got a heating pad on. I'm trying to do this podcast. I am like, this is the most transparent podcast that I'm going to have. What most transparent podcast episode I will have on here. I've said all sorts of stuff to y'all as far as my life and things like that, because that's what this podcast is about. But it's also about like all the rest of Cleveland and getting them more out there, the ones that's not really known and the ones that don't never get to shine. But I really feel that this really needs to be spoken about, because we don't, as black women, as women period, we don't know the effects of perimenopause and menopause and the outcome of it. I mean, and my mom, of course, she went through it, and I mean, I saw her go through it, but never was it a situation where I was like, okay, mom, what's all your symptoms? I would see her have hot flashes. I would see her not feel good one day and she'd be fine the next. It was just different things that I saw her go through when I was younger, but it was just kind of like I didn't really dive into it. And the thing is, my mom had me when she was 35. So, like, kind of by the time she went through the perimenopause and things like that, and menopause, I was a little younger. I was, I think I was, yeah, I wasn't, I probably was like entering teenagehood, but not to a point where, I was like, Mom, what's going on? Like, what's all these symptoms and stuff like that? Because I didn't even know that she was going through the stuff she was going through. But I do know there are 3 stages of perimenopause, which I do want to talk about. So, like, very early peri, which is probably what started with me when I was like probably about 38, 39. It typically occurs in your 30s. Progression, I'm probably saying that wrong. Um, Insomnia, anxiety, PMS, mood swings, body fat and belly fat. So sometimes you might see something that says you've gotten weight gain due to perimenopause or menopause. That's basically it. The second stage is early perimenopause, which typically occurs in your 40s. So you have fluctuating estrogen, progesterone. Sorry, I'm saying that all wrong, but I'm not a doctor. Mood swings, no energy, irregular or heavy cycles, hip and thigh fat. Baby, all the above with that, okay? And let's not talk about the itching of the skin where you feel like something crawling on you. Don't Let's talk about the fact that your lips get chapped. Let's talk about the fact that you can drink all the water in the world and you feel like you're dehydrated. Let's talk about the belly fat. Just when you work out and you still like wondering why is this what happened, because last year seriously my belly was flat and this year it looks like I'm about 4 months pregnant and I'm like, what the fuck is going on, man? I go to Cycle Bar every 2 weeks. I mean every week, twice a week. And I'm like, this is some bullshit. So, yeah, it's a lot going on. Let's talk about your feet swelling up or just you swelling up in the whole, in just period. Bloating, all that stuff. Like, it's just horrible. Now, late perimenopause, that typically happens in your 40s or 50s. So, early peri and late peri can both happen in your 40s, and then late peri can happen in your 50s, and then very early peri can happen in your 30s. So, you got estrogen fluctuating again, progesterone, night sweats, bloating, irregular cycles, junk sleep, no seg, well, a sex drive, weight loss, resistance, and fatigue. Hold on for 1 second, y'all. Hello. I kind of could tell. You've been gone for a long time. Oh, uh-huh. Okay, y'all. So I just wanted to talk about the perimenopause thing. The hubby is now on the phone, so I'm going to end this. But if y'all got any questions or concerns, please send me a message. But on that note, talk to you guys later. Bye.